Hey everybody, welcome to my totally awesome guide on the best places to visit in Los Angeles, California. Listen, I know what you're thinking. Los Angeles? Isn't that just a bunch of traffic and people trying to sell you screenplays? First of all, rude. Second, get ready to have your mind blown because LA is way more than that. We got beaches, mountains, museums, theme parks, you name it. It's like a buffet of fun out here. We're gonna break down the absolute top spots you gotta hit up while you're in town. And trust me, you're gonna wanna see this, folks. All right, first up on our whirlwind tour of LA is the one and only Griffith Observatory and Griffith Park. Now you might be thinking, an observatory? Jimmy, that sounds boring. But hold your horses because this place is anything but. First of all, the views. Oh my God, the views. You're talking panoramic shots of the entire city, including the Hollywood sign. I'm talking Instagram gold, people. You can practically taste the fame from up there. And speaking of the Hollywood sign, you can actually hike to it from the park. Just try not to get eaten by a mountain lion on the way. Those things are vicious. But let's say you're not into sweating and risking your life for a photo op. No judgment here, I get it. That's where the observatory comes in. They got telescopes, exhibits, all that science-y stuff that'll make you feel smarter than you actually are. Plus, they do these awesome stargazing events at night where you can, gaze at stars. It's very romantic unless you bring your mom. Next up, we're heading to the Getty Center, which is basically like the fancy pants cousin of the Griffith Observatory. Instead of hiking boots and granola bars, think like monocles and champagne. The Getty Center is all about art, architecture, and pretending to understand what the heck you're looking at. They got this massive collection of European paintings, sculptures, all that good stuff. And the building itself? A work of art. It's all sleek and modern with these crazy gardens that look like they were designed by Mother Nature on a really good day. And get this, the Getty Center is completely free to visit. But seriously, you gotta check this place out. It's like taking a crash course in culture, without having to sit through a boring lecture. All right, let's be honest, no trip to LA is complete without a visit to the beach. And when it comes to beaches, it doesn't get much more iconic than Santa Monica Pier and Beach. This place has got it all, folks. You want a Ferris wheel? Boom. Aquarium? Done. Street performers juggling chainsaws while riding unicycles? You better believe it. Disclaimer, I have no idea if they actually have chainsaw-wielding unicyclists, but it's LA, so I wouldn't be surprised. It's the perfect place to soak up the sun, catch some waves, or just people watch. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even rent a tandem bike and try not to crash into tourists. Okay, time for a little dose of Hollywood magic. We're heading to the legendary Hollywood Walk of Fame and the TCL Chinese Theatre. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a bunch of concrete with names on it? And to that, I say, yes, but it's iconic concrete with names on it. Seriously, you can't come to LA and not at least walk down this street once. It's like stepping into a time capsule of Hollywood history. You got your Marilyn Monroe, your Elvis Presley, your, Carrot Top? Okay, maybe not every star is a legend. But hey, that's show business, baby. And right next door, you got the TCL Chinese Theatre, which is basically the most famous movie theater in the world. This is where they have all the big premieres where stars come to make their mark. Literally. They got those handprints and footprints in cement out front, remember? It's pretty cool to see if you can find your favorite celebrities' handprints. All right, folks, let's get our culture on and head over to the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, better known as LACMA. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more of a stick figures and macaroni art kind of gal myself, but even I gotta admit, this place is pretty impressive. We're talking about the biggest art museum in the entire Western United States. They got everything from ancient artifacts to modern masterpieces. You want to see a Picasso? They got a Picasso. You want to see a giant rock balanced on a concrete arch? They got that too. It's called levitated mass, and it's way more interesting than it sounds. But LACMA isn't just about stuffy old paintings and sculptures. They also have rotating exhibitions, film screenings, concerts, all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, let's be honest. No trip to LA is complete without a healthy dose of weirdness. And when it comes to weirdness, Venice Beach and Boardwalk is where it's at. This place is like a circus, a carnival, and a flea market all rolled into one. You got your fortune tellers, your street performers, your artists selling their wares. And the people watching? Oh my God, the people watching. You will see things here that you will never unsee. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? Venice Beach is all about embracing the unconventional, the quirky, the downright bizarre. It's a place where you can let your freak flag fly and nobody bats an eye. Get your credit cards ready, folks, because we're heading to Rodeo Drive, the land of luxury and designer labels. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I once bought a pair of socks here and it practically bankrupted me. But hey, at least I can say I own a piece of the Rodeo Drive dream. This famous shopping street in Beverly Hills is where the rich and famous come to spend their hard-earned, or inherited, who are we kidding, money. We're talking Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, all the big names. And even if you can't afford to buy anything, like me, it's still fun to window shop and dream about what you'd buy if you won the lottery. But Rodeo Drive isn't just about shopping. It's also a great place to grab a bite to eat, people watch, and judge outfits, let's be real, and soak up the glamorous atmosphere. Calling all art lovers and Instagram influencers. Our next stop is The Broad, a contemporary art museum that's basically one giant Instagram backdrop. Seriously, this place is like a dream come true for anyone who loves taking selfies with art. They've got those Yayoi Kusama infinity rooms that everyone goes crazy for, giant balloon animals by Jeff Koons, and all sorts of other cool and colorful installations. You'll be snapping pics for hours. But The Broad isn't just about being trendy and Instagrammable. They actually have a really impressive collection of contemporary art, with works by some of the biggest names in the game. So even if you're not a social media addict, you're sure to find something to appreciate here. Hold on to your butts, folks, because we're heading to Universal Studios Hollywood, the theme park where movies come to life. And by come to life, I mean try to scare the living daylights out of you. Universal Studios is home to some of the most thrilling rides in the world, from the heart-stopping Jurassic World ride to the terrifying Halloween Horror Nights event. Seriously, don't go to that one alone. And if you're not into screaming your head off, don't worry. They also have plenty of tamer rides and attractions, like the Harry Potter World and the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem ride. But the real highlight of Universal Studios is the Studio Tour, where you get to go behind the scenes of some of your favorite movies and TV shows. Next up, we're heading to downtown Los Angeles, or DTLA as the cool kids call it. This is the heart of the city, where you'll find a mix of historic landmarks, modern skyscrapers, and everything in between. One of the coolest spots in DTLA is the Walt Disney Concert Hall, designed by the legendary architect Frank Gehry. It's a stunning building, both inside and out, and it's home to the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Even if you're not a classical music buff, it's worth checking out just for the architecture. And while you're in the neighborhood, be sure to check out Grand Central Market, a food lover's paradise with vendors selling everything from tacos to ramen to artisanal cheese. Okay, let's be honest. No trip to LA is complete without a little bit of celebrity stalking. And what better place to spot a star than on the beaches of Malibu? Malibu is home to some of the most beautiful and expensive real estate in the world, so it's no surprise that it's a popular hangout for the rich and famous. You might even spot Leonardo DiCaprio paddleboarding or Beyoncé and Jay-Z taking a romantic stroll along the sand. But even if you don't spot any A-listers, Malibu is still worth a visit for its stunning beaches, crystal clear waters, and laid-back vibe. Some of the most popular beaches in Malibu include Zuma Beach, El Matador State Beach, and Point Dume State Beach. So grab your swimsuit, slather on some sunscreen, and get ready to soak up the California sun. Okay, time to switch gears and head over to the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County, where you can learn about everything from dinosaurs to diamonds. And no, I'm not kidding about the diamonds. They have a whole exhibit dedicated to gems and minerals. But let's be real, the main attraction here is the Dinosaur Hall. They've got a T-Rex, a Triceratops, a Stegosaurus, all the classics. And they're not just standing there like boring old statues. These dinos are posed in dynamic, lifelike positions, like they're about to attack each other or something. But the Natural History Museum isn't just for kids who are obsessed with dinosaurs. They also have exhibits on everything from the history of California to the science of earthquakes. So there you have it, folks, my totally unbiased and completely serious guide to the 12 must-visit places in Los Angeles. LA is an amazing city with something to offer everyone, from beaches and mountains to museums and theme parks. So what are you waiting for? Book your trip, pack your bags, and get ready for some fun in the sun. And hey, if you happen to spot me on Rodeo Drive buying another pair of overpriced socks, come say hi. I'll be the one who looks like they're about to faint from sticker shock.